please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Do you see that investment being made, as Rahul is pointing out, or do you believe that investors is still wary because there isn't clarity in terms of demand?
See, investors are still
wary. And what role
wary.
can the government play in demand creation?
See, I think one fundamental difference between India and China is that in China, a lot of government-owned entities take the initiative to develop the market. In India, the expectation always is that the private sector will come in and make that investment. I think the private sector in India does not have that kind of a risk appetite if the demand is not clear to them. So if government wants to develop the market, either they make the investment without giving visibility on the demand, or they give visibility on the demand and then expect the private sector to follow. Unfortunately, in India, none of the two things sometimes happen. There's no clarity on demand and the government still thinks that the private sector will come in. I think that is a wrong expectation. Private sector is not here to take undue risk and not there to do social service to try to develop a sector no matter how beneficial it may be for the society.
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Rahul, let me now talk to you about what we can expect in this space in terms of M&A, in terms of possible IPOs, consolidation. What's the expectation as we move forward in 2018?
Yeah. So, you know, in the previous government, the 5-year plan was 20 gigawatt, which went up to 175. So companies like ours, when we started off, for us, 1 gigawatt seemed like a really large number. And it seemed like a really large number back then. Today, we're sitting at almost 1.5 gigawatt. And a 2 gigawatt or a 3 gigawatt seems like doable in the next 2-3 years. So everybody's scale expectation has changed. Earlier, everybody wanted to get to 1 gigawatt to do an IPO. Today, everybody is rushing to a 2 or a 3 or a 4 gigawatt to do an IPO. And I think...
So at what point would it trigger one possibly from you?
I'm not sure yet. I wish I could answer that. But at some point, obviously...
But fundraising?
Fundraising is happening. We have IFC as an investor. If you see, there is a lot of foreign money today which is keen to come into the sector because it gives you scale. You know, there is very few countries where you can go and invest $100, $200 million and create a 1 gigawatt platform in the course of 2 years. You know, all you need to do is win 2 bids of 500 megawatts each, and you've created that. There is probably only 3 other countries in the world where you can do this. So there is a lot of pension fund money. There's a lot of other money which is available today to come into India to invest because they believe in India. They believe in the India renewable story.
Gurjeet, what's your expectation both in terms of fundraising as well as the possibility of seeing an IPO in this space, which we haven't seen in a few years now?
Yes. So I think this year will be a watershed year for renewable energy from 2 parameters. Firstly, you'll see a large number of IPOs happening. The large-scale portfolios which can stand on their own, which have a long-term vision, will go in for IPOs this year. The second thing that's going to happen is the large-scale portfolios which do not want to continue. You will see M&As of those portfolios, and all of those M&As are probably going to come to an end within 2018 calendar year itself. Thereafter, the action will shift towards accumulation of the small-time portfolios which exist, 50 megawatts, 100 megawatts, 200 megawatts. But if we're talking of sizable capacities, 500 megawatts and above, I think the action is going to be restricted to 2018, which is actually a great thing for India, because hopefully, once this action is through, you will find the entry of large-scale utilities from Europe, from Asia, from North America, which have actually not been so so active in the Indian space. And there is no reason why they should not be active in India when India is such a large market. Why should it be that you have a lot of platforms which are actually owned by financial investors, but you find that the strategic utilities, which are long-term investors, are actually not there in the market? So this aberration should change.